y'all, how you doing? I'm gonna get right into it. Stingray 72 here. Today what I want to talk about are the pros and cons of college as an adult. When I say as an adult, I mean after home life has been established. I mean after marriage and or serious relationship, after children. I'm talking about grown folk business. I wrote down 7 pros and 7 cons of college after becoming an adult. Let's get into it. Pros. You can afford it. Maybe. There are programs out there that will give you money for school according to your income and stuff like that. And like for single mothers and stuff like that. They never have stuff for single fathers, do they? That's messed up. Anyway, and most federal payments, like if you go through FAFSA and stuff like that, you can get money. So, from them, like I said, there are different variables for it. The money, you don't have to actually pay it back until after you're done with school, after you get your degree. That could be a pro and a con, actually, but we'll get into that. 2, life credits. Depending on your degree, some schools actually will give you life credits according to your life experiences. Obviously, if you're going to be a doctor, you're not going to get a life credit for having a kid. Stuff like that. But there, like I said, there are different degrees that offer in schools that will provide you with life credits. Definitely check into that if this is something you're looking into. 3, there are less distractions. This is a pro. Less distractions because you've learned time management. You want to. I think that's a pro. It could be a con too. Okay, so most of these things I'm telling you could be a pro or con. It depends on how you look at it. Let's see another one. I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. No time to procrastinate. Again, because you've already set up your life balance. Or is there time to procrastinate because of that? Because at this point, you've already graduated high school. So you figure going back to college was, I can or I can do it or I don't have to do it. So either way, it's up to you. You're going to lose money or you're going to make it work. But procrastination is definitely something that you need to grow out of. Some of us don't. And that's okay. But the more you procrastinate, if you have good time management skills, then, it'll work for you. You'll make it work. But if you don't have good time management skills, then adding school to your list might not be a good idea. Let me see. 5, hybrid schedules. You'll have the option with some schools. Now some are getting more strict to either work online or work from home or in the classroom. It's up to you. Definitely you'll find schools that are out there that will cater to whatever your schedule is. It's rare, but it does happen. So let's see. 6, you'll be able to further your career. Most employers will honor your schooling, your degree and everything, and there could be incentives on the job, a raise, promotion, and things like that. Some jobs also require, I know when I worked at the patent office years ago, that job required, they did pay for me to go to school. But after I got my degree, I had to stay there for 2 years post-graduation date. And that's kind of like a guarantee, if you will, that they didn't send you to school in order for you to further your education or use that information at another place of employment. Which if you do, that's your business. You just pay it back. But nonetheless, some jobs do have that stipulation. They will pay for you to go to school, but you have to stay with them for a certain amount of time post-education. So you want to look into that as well. And number 7, you'll bring your adult perspective into a school setting. We've already gone through, different things as a child. We always, if I had a chance to do it over again, I would have. Well, now's your chance. If you decide to go back to college as an adult, this is your chance to implement those things. You can bring your hindsight views into full view and do better. Hopefully you will do better. Hopefully you won't fall back into the same category or the same ways that you were in high school. Whatever it is, that's that. So those are the 7 pros. The 7 pros, I'll read them again. You can afford it, maybe. Life credits, possibly. Less distractions, I doubt it. No time to procrastinate, or maybe. A hybrid schedule might work for you. You get to further your career, possibly, and you bring your adult perspective. Those are 7 things. Pow, shot them down. Let's go for the cons. Okay. Cons, you'll have to relearn your studying habits. You'll either relearn them or you will start anew. Don't worry about my hair. It's a work in progress. You'll relearn your old study habits, or you'll start anew. Either way, new technique. There are new techniques like this new math, and nothing was wrong with the old math. But for whatever reason, we are an instant society. We are a microwave society. We got to do everything fast and new, when nothing was wrong with old and slow. Slow and steady always wins. Number 2, you'll lose your free time. Say goodbye to your weekends, and there's no rest for the weary. Again, it doesn't make a difference how your schedule is set up with school, even if you don't have classes on Saturdays and Sundays. Most times you'll have a class on a Monday and or Friday. So in between that, you're going to have to work schoolwork. So you're leaving your job to do your schoolwork. And as an established adult, that can be daunting. Nonetheless, that's number 2. Number 3, your regret will set in. I know, like for me, when I graduated in high school, I didn't go back to get my degree until more than 25 years later. And at that time, you have the younger generation in class with you, and you start to feel like, well, damn, Jaleesa from a different world. Like you feel, well, damn, I'm the oldest one here. How am I going to be able to keep up with these new techniques and things like that? And I wish I would have gone right out of high school. Those types of regrets will seep in. Stay strong, my brother. Stay strong, my sister, because that can wreak havoc on your self-esteem as well. So you want to make sure that you check that. What's that? That was 3. Number 4, student loan debt. As an adult, there is some sort of debt that you're in. I don't care if your credit is 850. I don't care if your credit score is 50. You owe somebody something. You either own a home, and if you own the home, you still have to have lights, water, and things like that, because there'll be someone that come on here. I own my car. I own my house. Doesn't make a difference. Nothing in this world is free, especially schools. So you may have to get a loan or get grants, and depending on how much you make, there are programs out there that will lessen the amount of out of pocket that you have to pay for school. And most loans do not, however, cover your full tuition. So you definitely want to make sure that. And then you have other things that come into play. If you have children, if you're a single parent, hell, even if you're not, and you both go to school, you may have to come out of pocket for childcare or something like that. There are going to be additional expenses. Anyway, where are we? Number 5. Okay, there'll be a shift in your life-work balance. Okay, in my opinion, this can be a pro and a con, but I have it listed on the con because now you're trying to fit school around your schedule, your work schedule. If you are in the position where you can fit work around your school schedule, great, bravo. But for the majority of us adults, we have to fit, it's the other way around. We have to fit school around our work schedules and our everyday schedules. School is something that's being added in, so that can throw your balance off, your work-life balance. That can throw that off. That's number 5. We're on to number 6, and number 6 is after graduation, your options become limited because there are some students who go directly from high school into college. 4 years, 5 years tops, depending on what you want to do. Depending on what you want to do, you're limited. Your options may become more limited because if you're going to be, let's say, a doctor. I don't know. Maybe you're in your 40s and you want to become a doctor. It can happen. Your chances are lessened because you have 30 or 40,000 younger students who are already gung-ho, and they've already advanced more ahead of you with technology, with study techniques, with everything that we listed that I listed prior. You know, your job options can become limited, and that's just something that you want to think about and consider. I mean, that's not to say that your job options are not limited even if you don't go to college, but it's more likely that if you go to college as an adult in your 40s, late 30s or 40s plus, that the options are going to be a lot limited. And you may want to consider at this point going to college to further the job you already have as opposed to switching a career. Not saying you shouldn't look into it, not saying you shouldn't do it, but what I'm saying is logically you may want to understand that if you're going, like the job I work now, I may want to go to college and focus on the job I already have as my major. It just makes sense for me. I don't know. That was 6. Let's hit number 7. Number 7 is an extended amount of time to get to the finish line. Because as a part-time student, it took me 4 years to get a 2-year degree because I worked a full-time job, a part-time job, wife, mother. So I had to fit school around my work-life schedule. So it took me 4 years to get a 2-year degree. That was because I could only take 1 or sometimes 2 classes at a time. These are things that you have to consider when you decide to go to college after your life is already established. It can happen. You know, you just have to make sure that you understand what you're up against. What are the cons? There's 7 of them. Relearning to study, losing your free time, goodbye weekends, regretting things, and that regret might set in, your student loan debt because it will accumulate. It definitely will. Your shift in work-life balance after graduation, your options are limited and there's an extended time to get to the finish line. This does not mean that you should not go for it. If this is something that you've contemplated and things that you feel are tangible, definitely by all means do your thing, reach your goals. It is all right. I wish you the best. This is video number 1, Stingray 72 here. I totally appreciate you. Thank you to all of my new subscribers and to my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for riding with me on my road to 1K by 2023. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and definitely subscribe. Just giving me a thumbs up. Definitely appreciate it, and it definitely helps me out. If there's any video or anything that you want to hear me talk about or anything you want me to research for you or as seen on TV, try out, please let me know. Any recipe, anything like that. Jack of all trades, trying to master something, put that in the comment section below. Again, I totally appreciate you. Thank you so much for selecting this video. Bye.